Ladies and gentlemen, can I please have your attention? And I need all of you to stop what you're doing and listen.
Welcome to Waffle Box.
I don't even know what that means.
No one knows what it means, but it's provocative.
No, it's not. It
Gets the people going.
You ate birthday cake on the toilet?
Don't you?
But does it have a dildo and a bazooka being shot right at the camera?
No, it does not.
It sounds uncomfortable to me, and we're currently standing on the ground right now.
I might start using that as an insult. I might start calling people dumb dolphins.
Billiards is almost as old as craps and prostitution. What the fuck?
Oh, God. That's not where I thought it was going to go.
The stick you can use as a bat. You can play as a sword. You can just beat a fool with it. I think maybe the craziest thing I bought was like the Cheers box set.
And then suddenly she's having this conversation with this plank of wood, Judge 2x4. When she instead of hitting the gavel, she just headbutts the desk. And that's final. Boom.
Whew, I for some reason know a lot about magic.
Welcome to Waffle Box, the podcast where we talk about anything, everything, and nothing all at the same time. Coming up on episode 33, we're talking about the art of the celebrity breakup announcement. We're talking about not a man catching COVID, but COVID catching a man, and so much more. My name is Mike Fish, and I'm joined, as always, by the main man. It's Kush. Hey, it's Kush. How you doing, buddy?
What's good, y'all? Kush Hayes here. Newest episode of the Waffle Box. Happy to be here. Happy to be out of quarantine. Whoop, whoop. And slightly embarrassed because I've somehow now hurt my lower back just doing laundry.
It's cool.
You're talking to someone who is able to lift a 115-pound woman, no problem whatsoever, but a 40-pound bag of laundry puts him back on the DL. So it's frustrating times here in 2022.
Did you bend with your knees? Did you lift with your
Always.
knees? Say?
Always. And it didn't seem to matter.
Maybe it's this father time catching up with you slowly.
Don't ever get old, Mike, if you can avoid it.
I'm trying.
No, not fun. However, we have been having some self-reflection over these last 2 weeks.
Tell me about it.
Yeah, well, this thing is kind of, I don't know what I want to do with it. It's kind of getting in the way of stuff now. And, I'm putting this challenge out there, Mike Fish. I'd like you to set up a poll on the Waffle Box Twitter at Waffle Box Pod. And now, dig this. We have to have at least over 100 participants in this. Otherwise, it won't matter. Because if it's just 3 people say, yeah, trim that stupid thing off. That's not important, guys. All right. I don't want a lopsided 3-2. I want over 100 people giving their opinion on this. Does the beard stay? Like, all this is staying, the mustache is staying, but this is going to get shortened by a lot. It's in your hands, world. I'm putting it out there right now. But over 100 people have to be a part of this.
It's a lot of power for the syrup squad to take on right now. So what are we talking about? We're talking about just like a level beard rather than a...
Just level it out, take it back to what it used to look like 2 years ago, 3 years ago. Yeah. This is doing nothing for me. I don't think it's doing anything for anyone else. I'm happy to keep it if the Serb squad says keep it, but the choice is yours.
Maybe you should
rock
braid
the
it.
vote, America. Braiding it, thought about that, and I'm just like,
Oh, well, it's good. So check that out if you haven't already. Go over to Twitter at WaffleboxPod and you decide the fates of Kush Hayes' man fuzz.
I don't know if I appreciate that, but okay.
Man fuzz from the waist up only, ladies and gentlemen. Speaking of, I shaved my chest yesterday.
You shaved your chest, not just trimmed it?
No, so I had to go to the cardiologist to get an EKG done, right?
Good. Everything okay?
Well, we don't know yet. That's a story in a minute. But so I have I don't have a manly beast of a hairy chest, but I've got a hairy chest. Well, I used to.
Okay.
But then to put the stickers on, where they put the pads on and all that, she's like, I'm going to just shave a little bit. And she shaved, like, for those listening and not watching, like just a little square next to my nipples.
That's weird. Okay.
And so when I got home and I went to shower, I had like this weird like hair and then a little strip there and then more hair. It was a very odd shape. So I had to, I had to trim it all off. But no, the reason why it's hilarious is because there was a little anomaly on the EKG, shall we say. But the doctor was basically like, hey, due to like your blood pressure is fine, because you're a skinny man, shall we say, a slender man. And since everything else is showing up healthy, it's probably nothing. But hey, with your heart, you always have to be careful, right? So we want to run some more tests to make sure everything's okay. So I'm going to have to go like have a stress test and all that BS. And I said, okay, well, we're doing this now. So, oh no, we have to schedule this in for later. I was like, oh, okay. Why? Because I'm going to have to come back here to do them. Oh, something insurance related, they have to get their money. So it's a heart situation. They're checking my heart, which is apparently, I'm not a doctor, but I'm pretty sure the heart is a pretty important part of the body. 4 weeks I have to wait to go get these follow-up tests. 4 weeks.
It's a good thing you caught it while it was early, whatever this is.
Well, so there is a chance that it's nothing. Yeah, but I have 4 weeks of waiting, thinking, but what if it is something? I have to wait 4 weeks on that.
Welcome to the American healthcare system. It could be way worse. So back in 05, 04, 05, I just started my pro wrestling training. And I was like, oh, you know what? I should get a physical. See if I, got the kinks in the shoulder or whatever, just to be, responsible. And went down to the local clinic, and they checked the heart and they checked the ears and eyes, nose, and throat and all that shit. And then they're like, so we're gonna need you to turn your head and cough. Also, they do that gimmick where they fondle you.
Check the fellas.
And so I turned and I coughed, and they're like, okay, that seems good. Just one thing though. 1, 2, 3. You've got way more business down there than you should, sir. That could be a problem. It could be nothing at all. Could be testicular cancer. We gotta do some tests though. And sure enough, we did some tests, but those tests took 6 months to come back.
Jesus. How thorough.
Short story is, the day after Thanksgiving, I found out I just have a third testicle. No big
deal.
Best case scenario.
50% more man than anyone else.
Best case scenario.
Is it just kind of a dormant testicle, or is it an extra?
Kind of just there.
Just hanging out, just in case. Hey, whenever you need me,
just
coach.
In case one of the other guys needs a break, it's there.
I'm ready to go in, coach, for the big play.
In case I lose one at the mall, it happens.
Check that out. Kush with the spare testicle.
Well, it's the next step in human evolution. Thank you.
Why not? Everyone should have spare things. That'd be good, wouldn't it? Need a lung transplant? Boom, just slot the spare one in. Pow. Happy jubbly. I mean, we've technically already got it with a kidney, right? You only need one kidney.
Probably should keep both of those.
Yeah, of course. I'm not going to sell it on the black market anytime soon unless I get a good offer. But, we'll see.
There you go.
Send me an email, enjoywafflebox@gmail.com. Give me your best price. Anyway. So, what are we talking about tonight? Let's dive into our first story. So, Boris Johnson, the UK Prime Minister's had a little bit of a fun recently. Now, a little bit of a disclaimer before this. Obviously, my rule. Listeners of Waffle Box, I don't like to talk about politics because it's a very, you might be shocked to find out it's a little bit of a divisive topic. However, this isn't about this guy's good, this guy's bad, blah, 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 blah. This is just a funny story involving a politician. So Boris Johnson, the UK Prime Minister, who is the man leading the man. So if you are not aware of how UK politics work, basically he is their president.
Okay.
And so beginning of lockdown of the pandemic, early 2020, it has come out that this man attended a garden party when at the time, gatherings of people outside of your household were strictly prohibited. So much so that even if you had like your neighbor come round and you were sitting in the backyard with each other, you could get a knock at the door of the police and get a fine for doing that.
Oh, fascinating. Like,
that crazy, right? So as you can imagine, the UK public to find out that this man had a party in his backyard with, I think there was something like, 45 people in attendance. It's quite a lot of people. Obviously, as you can imagine, they're not best pleased about this.
No. We had a similar situation like that here in California, but I'll get into that in a minute.
So much a big thing. As you know, the UK pretty much, not everyone, but most people still love the old royal family as well. They love the Queen. And obviously during this whole time period, unfortunately, Queen Elizabeth's husband, Prince Philip, passed away. And so they had their funeral, but there was this famous photo now where she was just literally sitting on her own, wearing a mask because she couldn't have a big funeral. She couldn't be there. So she was just sitting there on her own, lonely, because she was following the rules. So the UK people are not very happy the fact the Queen followed the rules, but you can't do it. Shame on you. Now, anyway, that's the kind of short summary. But what's funny, you're waiting for the funny bit, is how he thought he could get away with this scot-free, because what he said in a press conference was that apparently nobody told him the rules, which is hilarious because, hey, the reason the public are getting upset with you and saying that you broke the rules, the only reason they know those rules are because he told them the rules. And now he's turning around saying, I wasn't aware this was against the rules. And as you can imagine, and to his flabbergastery, that excuse didn't go down so well. So good luck, Boris, with how that works out.
He's probably going to be okay. Again, we actually had a similar situation to this, and not just California, but San Francisco as well. The governor of California, Gavin Newsom, despite all the mask mandates, this is very, very early into the pandemic. I want to say it's maybe 4 months in, again, people are dying in the hospitals. Loved ones aren't able to see those people that are dying because of all these stiff regulations. Businesses are closing left and right. Yet the governor decided to go to a birthday party at a super fancy restaurant that was open, that was legally allowed to be open like every other restaurant. The biggest problem, though, is they were not socially distancing and he was not wearing his mask. He was just there hanging out like he would have at that restaurant any other time. And while I think it's silly, it falls into that category of do as I say and not as I do, and nobody likes that shit.
Exactly.
It led to the state of California spending millions of dollars on a recall election that actually ultimately went nowhere. Gavin Newsom is still in charge of the state, and is a lot of pomp and much to do about nothing. But yeah, I forget what his excuse about it was, but even he didn't play it off too well, and again, thus led to an entire waste of money on the state's dime. So, and then I want to say it was Mayor London Breed of San Francisco. This was, I think, at the top of 2021. Tony, 90s R&B supergroup. They had a party at whatever spot in the Fillmore, in the district of San Francisco, and she went there without a mask. Regulations are a lot looser at this point in time, but it was the same things like the mayor of the city, who's causing everybody fucking hardship right now, is just out there shaking her ass to Tony.
Why
to
not?
Be fair, she owned it. She was like, yeah, I was having a great old time. I wasn't thinking about no mask regulations, and I was out there shaking my ass. It was Tony. And I was like, that probably was a pretty good party, Mayor Breed. That was probably a pretty good party. So, but that's just it, guys. We don't like the do as you say, not as we do it's a bad philosophy, and it's going to bite you in the butt and cause you more problems than you want, regardless of nothing changing.
It's just a bad look.
It is a bad look. I'm honestly surprised the governor is still in charge. I was totally expecting him to get the boot. I was like, man, they took it this far. Won by a landslide. Like it's again another situation of the loudest voice is one that's getting the most attention, and there it is. So yeah, I'm pretty sure the prime minister will be fine. But yeah, the UK had much stricter regulations, didn't they?
Depends what day of the week it was. I don't even understand what was going on over there, but I left there and the whole thing fell apart, quite frankly. So I should take some responsibility. Obviously, I was holding it all together over there. But there you go. Speaking of not holding it together, Jason Momoa and Lisa Bonet have announced their divorce. Not that I care much. That's not the point. But what maybe is the point? The point I'm trying to make here with this little segment is, one, why do celebrity couples feel the need that they have to announce to the world when something's happening in their relationship? And two, why do they do it so weirdly?
I believe that's for legal purposes, where like property is getting divided up and shit like that. Like, I believe if you're some sort of celebrity or influencer or name of note, I believe when there's a significant change in your life like that, you have to make a public announcement. I could be wrong on that. Serb Squad, maybe you could help us out with that. What do you know? Is that a thing? Because again, like Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson actually had to put out a press release. They didn't do some cute Twitter thing. He literally like, yeah, me and Danny, we split up. Oh, but I also bought her the XFL, so we're still cool. Like,
yeah, we're still pretty. That's what you get for someone who's got everything. But yeah, Jason Momoa and Lisa Bonet.
What a weird relationship too.
Whatever. I mean, they held it together for a little while though. They did do right. But in terms of like their announcement, it's just like on the next episode we had Gwyneth Paltrow and Chris Martin with their conscious uncoupling in 2014. Channing Tatum and Jenna Dewan, who lovingly chosen to separate as a couple, which I'm not sure how a divorce is separated lovingly, which is interesting. I'd like to see how that exactly worked out. Kylie Minogue and Joshua Sasha, who are venturing towards new horizons in their announcement. All of those extremely weird, but I don't think anyone is going to be able to top this. So I don't know if people, I'm sure you have read this, but I need to break this down. So
break it down.
This is how they announce that they're being divorced. So I quote, "We have all felt the squeeze and changes of these transformational times. A revolution is unfolding." Okay. And our family is no exception. ... Feeling and growing from the seismic shifts occurring. Okay. And so
she's a hippie, and he's just drunk all the time.
What does anything to do with it? Anyway, we shall share our family news that we are parting ways in marriage. Okay, so it was a weird start, but they got to the point. We're parting ways in marriage. All right, cool statement. You're going to end it there? Nope. Okay, so we share this not because we think it's newsworthy. Okay, so maybe they're about to answer my question. It's like, why do we need to do this? But so that as we go about our lives, we may do so with dignity and honesty. Okay. The love between us carries on, evolving in ways it wishes to be known and lived. We free each other to be who we are learning to become. The fuck does that mean? Like,
yeah. Again, she's a hippie and he drinks a lot, so I think that has something to do with it.
So yeah, you're even though it's signed by both of them, are you saying that Lisa wrote all of this and he was just like, yeah, whatever, fuck
yeah, yeah. She's part poet. Again, that's just such a strange relationship to me. Like Lisa Bonet, I want to say has like 15 years on Jason Momoa, but I also don't know how old he is because he's only been in the public eye this last 10 years.
Well, they were together. I don't know how long they were married for. They were together for 16 years. Oh, they only got married in 2017. So they've been married like 4 or 5 years. But they were together for 16. Have 3 children together. She'll always be Denise Huxtable to me, though. But yeah, I didn't realize how old she was. I mean, age is but a number and all that, but I didn't realize because it says here that she was also previously married to musician Lenny Kravitz, and they got divorced in 1993. Yeah,
Zoe Kravitz is her daughter.
I did not know that. She's doing well for herself. She's becoming an actress. Wasn't she in
Zoe Kravitz?
Creed?
No, that's Tessa Thompson.
Oh,
that's Tessa Thompson.
Oh, now I look bad.
That's okay.
Wait, what was she in? What do I know her from?
Zoe Kravitz. I think the biggest thing she's been in is the newest Harry Potter sequel that came out 2 years ago. I'm sure she's going to be in the 3rd one coming out this year.
Oh, you mean
she does a lot of indie work though. I don't believe she's a musician, but she is a model, or at least is beautiful enough to be a model.
Hey, when your dad's Lenny Kravitz, you're going to be a superstar.
Genes. She got all the good genes from both of them. So,
but yeah, so good. I'm happy that they're happy, I guess, and I'm happy that their love will continue evolving in ways that it wishes to be known and lived. Still, one day maybe we'll find out what the fuck that is. But good for them. But yeah,
I'm not going to lose sleep over it.
But yeah, if that is the case, that celebrities need to make an announcement for legal reasons, fine. But just say, hey, me and her, we're getting divorced. That's it.
Just post a tweet that says, yeah, we tried. It didn't work out. And literally spell out the raspberry. It doesn't look as classy as what Miss Bonet put out there.
I'll just put like that poop face emoji and then tag your wife. We'll get the idea. Next story. So this one's a little bit more in depth. So an American man who has believed to have faked his own death.
Oh yeah, I've been waiting for this story. This is amazing.
Is facing extradition after being arrested in hospital in Glasgow. So basically, this man who is, where are these? Okay. So this man who you may know him as Nicholas Alaverdian Rossi, Nicholas Edward Rossi, Nicholas Alaverdian Rossi.
He's got more names than cliches.
Arthur Brown and Arthur Knight. So the Utah County Attorney confirmed that he has been known as Nicholas Ross in the past, and he is on record for the state of Utah, where they're looking for him for an alleged rape. Naughty boy. The FBI have also got a warrant out for his arrest and charged of defrauding his foster father by taking out credit cards in his name and running up debts of more than $200,000 dues. And then also there's cold cases that came out with DNA results and stuff like that. So he's been a very, very, very naughty boy. So what did this guy do? Man with 24 names. Naturally, he fled Utah, tried to go other states, but he eventually ended up in Glasgow, going by the name Nicholas Rossi. Only 34 years old. He's younger than me. He has achieved so much. So he caught the vid, went to hospital, and then now he's been arrested. This guy is definitely going to have a movie made about him at one point. What are your thoughts on this incredibly story of Nicholas Rossi, etc., etc., etc.?
The one alias you missed was the one I read, and that he was going by the name Arthur Knight with a K.
I did say that. Yeah.
That is hilarious to me. Oh, it's as if you faked your death over there, Mike, and started calling yourself, I'm Sam Patriot. Pleased to meet you. Pay no attention to this accent. That's my name. You call me a liar, boy. Anyway,
my name's Chuck Hero.
Chuck Hero. I think I need to be like Doug Flag or something. You know, like it's got to be that name. You know, Arthur Knight. It's the Round Tables, King Arthur, UK. Arthur Knight is a perfect alias for what he tried to do, and it's so cartoony that I'm surprised he only got caught now and because of COVID. But yeah, whew. Otherwise, I would love. We now need to know how he faked his death. I don't think that was in the story, and we need to know what's going on.
Well, no, he did. It was in the story. So
how did he fake his death then?
So he claimed that. Now I'm just going to double check because I want to make sure I'm saying this right. So Mr. Rossi told US media in December of 2019 that he had late-stage non-Hodgkin lymphoma and had only weeks to live. And then several outlets reported that he had died in February of 2020. A memorial posted online declared him a warrior that fought on the front lines for 2 decades. Which, no, because if he's 34 now, that means when he faked his own death, he was 32. So at what front lines did he
the whole time too?
What front lines did he fight on when he was 12? Don't think right anyway. For children's rights. Still don't think a 12-year-old. Anyway, that's not a point. So what happened? So a woman as well. This is where it gets really nitty-gritty. So a woman said had been phoning around all these people to get them to post this story. Like, this guy's dead. He's died. So in 2020, a woman claiming to be his wife rang several media outlets. Oh, I can't say media outlets, and said he had died of cancer and urged them to write an obituary. However, the reporter from his organization was suspicious as lots of things did not add up, and a decision was made not to publish the obituary, despite repeated emails and phone calls from the woman claiming to be his wife. We later learned that the state police and FBI were looking into whether he was alive or not. And then even too much so, like a memorial mass had been arranged at a Catholic church. The priest was putting all the pieces in place when the phone rang. It was a detective from the Rhode Island State Police who told him, "Don't put that mass on. We think he's alive. So this would be a complete fraud of a memorial service." Oh, and as you can imagine, a CBS investigative reporter in Rhode Island, Tim White, told BBC Scotland that everyone was stunned when the news broke that he was still alive in Scotland.
Here's why they're not going to make this a movie. Also, he's wanted on a rape charge, and whether he did it or didn't do it, like that's not fun to watch. When they make a movie starring Leonardo DiCaprio running away from Tom Hanks, he's just forging checks from a faceless corporation. Like that shit is whimsical. But this is a hard R with the rape. So
this is if they did do that, he would obviously definitely be the bad guy in the movie. That the story would revolve around the police trying to catch him. That's what I would say. But it was hilarious is that the quote of after listing that he went by about 20 different names, including Arthur Knight. There's a quote saying, "Investigators are painting a picture of a pathological liar." You don't say.
You don't say.
Yeah, don't say.
I am shocked.
So as of recording this, Arthur Knight / Nicholas Rossi / Nicholas Alaverdian / Nicholas Brown / Nick Allen, Edward Rossi, whatever. He is currently, I think he's still in hospital actually under police security while he's getting over COVID, but
handcuffed to a gurney.
Handcuffed to his bed. Oh, there you go. So this is why I know we don't want to push any of the agendas on anyone. People are going to say it's an agenda. But hey, especially if you are a fugitive on the run, Make sure you wear a mask and get vaccinated. Otherwise, you might end up like this young man who's 4 years younger than me. God damn it. What a story.
I have to wonder how easy or difficult it was for him to get vaccinated. Because, again, who knows what kind of proper documentation he has. He made it to the UK, so he has to have a passport with one of these names on it, right?
Yeah, he went through a lot of work to do this.
Mm-hmm.
Well. Fuck him.
Fuck it.
If he's guilty, I'd be rots in hell. Oh. What have we got next on the docket? We're going to be talking about some TV coming up next with John Cena. HBO have got a new show, a little spin-off from the Suicide Squad. Peacemaker, starring John Cena. As of this recording, the first 3 episodes have been released.
The first 3 episodes were released all at once. There will be a total of 8 episodes altogether. And so I reviewed James Gunn's The Peacemaker as it was available day and date in theaters, but also on HBO Max last August. To my surprise, and I shouldn't have been, because James Gunn is just a very good, entertaining director. Fantastic movie. Still have no desire to see the original Suicide Squad, but when they announced that old Johnny Boots and Tights, John Cena, is going to be getting his own series out of this, well, I was intrigued and had to absolutely check it out, and it's good. I'm enjoying it so far. Again, we're only 3 episodes deep into it, but it's got a good cast. Some of those are still from the previous The Suicide Squad movie, including Jennifer Holland, as well as Steve Agee. Include Mr. Robert Patrick from Terminator 2. He's a part of the show now. And a bunch of other folks that are a part of this collaboration. Most of the episodes are about 45 minutes long. I don't know why we don't just get a half hour or a full hour, but hey, it is what it is. Very violent, very funny. It's James Gunn, and it's his newest trope these days is entertaining music from the 80s.
Very graphic
CGI eagle.
In more ways than one. I was not that I'm offended by this kind of thing, but I was very shocked to see a vagina, a photo of a vagina on this show. My word. Oh.
Yeah, there's a photo of a vagina. One of the characters is a lesbian, and her wife sent her a pussy picture that accidentally ended up in the mission brief, because apparently that's the thing WhatsApp does with you. With your phone and your
settings. Yes, indeed, that is true.
You gotta change those settings, kids.
But I mean, before we kind of dive into thoughts, because I know, heads up, once the series is completed, myself and Kush are going to do a full series overview on an additional feed, or on this feed, but additional show called Waffle and Chill. But I have to give a shout outs. One, this is James Gunn. That you can definitely tell this is James Gunn's brain working on this. 2, but start from the very start. The opening credit scene is chef's kiss work of art. It sets up the vibe of the show perfect. And that's what an opening credit scene should do. And this nails it. It's so weird, wacky, but that's what this show is.
Yeah, everyone seems to be in love with this entrance. This intro, or the opening credits. I couldn't give a shit. But I will tell you this: unlike most of the stuff out of the DC extended universe, it always tries to establish the mood as this is dark and gritty, and you're going to see a lot of ultra violent brooding. Yes, Mike, good job. Or something like Starter, well, it's filled with magic and whimsy and mystical stuff is going to happen, and we're going to go on an adventure. No, this is just like, hey, this is this cast of characters, and we're just gonna have fun, and that's what I get out of it. And so I'm not overwhelmed or overjoyed by the opening credits, but yeah, everyone seems to love them. But yeah, it establishes that you're gonna have fun in this next 45 minutes.
What do you think about the other cast and characters? 'Cause I don't know if we gonna not gonna go into spoilers, I guess, just yet. I guess you should check it out at HBO Max.
We're still figuring out what the plot is. We literally
that is true. But what do you?
There's some sort of alien menace, but that's about all they're telling us right now. Again, we've met some new characters. John Cena's Peacemaker. He has a kind of a sidekick. A man named Adrian Batty, a wannabe BFF, goes by the code name of Vigilante. That's Freddie Stroma. He's funny. He has his moments there.
He's a very funny character.
Danielle Brooks, she plays Leota Ababayo, who actually is Mrs. Wallace. What's her name? Sorry, folks. Viola Davis, Amanda Waller character's daughter, which is really weird because this chick doesn't look anything like Amanda Waller. In fact,
no.
The guy, I cannot pronounce this gentleman's name, so his character, Clemson Mern, he actually looks more like Viola Davis. He actually looks more like Amanda Waller, to the point I was like, those two must be related. And then
they must be like brother and sister or something.
Something like that, right?
Yeah.
Probably not. Also, now I'm racist. Steve Agee
what
is
an
very
episode
funny.
This has been.
Yeah, well, many twists and turns.
Maybe this is the last episode.
Waffle Box canceled. Robert Patrick plays Peacemaker's dad, and just a real son of a bitch who also happens to be some sort of neo-Nazi, maybe Ku Klux Klan member. I don't know. They were throwing around white dragons and stuff like that. And
it was getting sketchy, especially into the later episodes. But what do you think? Because I'm kind of torn still a little bit on the other characters other than John Cena, because John Cena is John Cena in this. He's very good, but he is John Cena.
He's funny.
The other
he's funny. He's a lot more polished than he has been in other roles that he's done the last 4 or 5 years.
Yeah, no, definitely. But the other, I can't still decide whether the other cast and characters are, I wouldn't say bad actors, but are they acting badly, or is it just their delivery in terms of this is an over-the-top wacky? Do you know what I'm saying? Like, it just seems a little bit weird, their deliveries of lines and how they're acting.
I think you're just not used to them. You're not familiar with their work. I'm not myself, but I think it's just, I think it's to be determined when we'll do our Waffle Box and chill later. But yeah, they're we're still setting stuff up here. So I hope this doesn't like any of the new Disney Plus series or Netflix series where this is going good, this is going good, this is going good. Then we get to the last episode and it just turns to shit. I hope we don't get that situation here. I've gone on record before where I hate anti-heroes. You're gonna say?
I said Hawkeye.
Hawkeye, yes. Hawkeye was ultimately disappointing. That was that was a bummer.
Well,
so
Hawkeye, my problem with Hawkeye was, no, I'm going off a slight tangent, but it just felt like they got to the last episode and they were like, oh shit, we've got 2 hours.
We gotta wrap this up in 20 minutes, baby.
And it's just like everything's I was like, what the fuck is going on? And it just seems too conveniently wrapped up at the end, but there you go.
There was a weird slow burn for 5 episodes, like we were doing a 13-episode Netflix saga, and then we got to episode 6, like, gotta wrap it up. And it was just what? And Hawkeye, very disappointing. I'm sorry to say. As I've said in the past, I've gone on record, I hate anti-hero bullshit. I hate romancing the bad guy, for lack of a better term, and this doesn't do that. John Cena's character thinks he's a hero, and everyone keeps saying, no, You're a bad guy, dude. You're
a piece of shit.
really bad dude. Yeah, you're a piece of shit, exactly. And he's shocked by that every time, and so I appreciate that. There's a lot of duality going on, but I appreciate where it's going, and they don't really pull any punches. Ladies and other gentlemen, you'll be happy to see John Cena naked a few times. Otherwise, it's a decent show, man. Good times. Looking forward to episode 4. That's the best thing I could say about these first 3 episodes is I wanted to see episode 4 right away. And I think we get that tonight. If this is Wednesday, I believe that comes out tonight.
Well, I'm trying to. We either get a new Boba Fett tonight and Peacemaker Thursday, or it's the other way around. I forget.
We get Boba Fett Wednesday morning, so that came out today. If today is Wednesday, that came out today.
So I think Peacemaker's Thursday.
We should be getting Peacemaker tonight. Yeah, tonight, midnight for me. That's why I keep saying tonight.
Gotcha.
It'll be 3 a.m. for you, so it might as well be in the morning.
So Thursday. I'm glad we got that covered.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah,
it's a shame we're not in Hawaii. We'd get this fucking thing done by 6 p.m.
Oh, and other reasons why I'd want to be in Hawaii right now. Freezing my tits off here in New Jersey.
You're missing hair now, so you're not as warm.
I'm never going to get used to this. I just want it to be summer again. I want to be bitching and complaining that it's too hot. I want those days again.
They're coming. The sun's already staying out longer again. So have we
already got to that stage now? Because it's January 19th as we release this. It's when people start
this
going.
Time
January
last
19th?
Month, the
Where's this year
sun was
gone
going
so
down
far?
for us at 4:30.
It's going to be Christmas soon.
Pretty soon.
So
right around the corner.
But yeah, so Peacemaker so far, up to episode 3 out of 8. Is that what we're getting? 8 episodes in total?
Yep.
So again, no spoilers, but out of 5 of how well it's been going so far, what would you give it?
Strong 4. Definitely a strong 4 for what I've seen so far.
I would agree. If you haven't already watched it, check it out. Peacemaker on HBO Max, starring John Cena. Very, very good. And don't let the fact that it's DC make you not want to watch it. I say that because I was one of those people. I'm like, DC sucks. But this is actually very good. And it's James Gunn. So I always say it's a Marvel guy. He's jumped over to make DC better. Don't worry. It's good. But yeah, so check that out. Other things to look forward to. So like I say, let's talk about the future, as we kind of alluded to. We're going to be launching a couple of other shows on this feed. They're going to become like monthly things, so we're not going to be doing them every single week, but we're going to do it so it's an extra show, a couple of them, so you end up getting sort of 2 shows a week. It'd be pretty cool. So one of those will be Waffle and Chill, where, like I say, we're going to be taking an entire series on, whether it be Netflix, Disney Plus, HBO, whatever, and kind of just talking about it as a whole. The first one, depending on how we finish it. So we're going to be obviously doing Peacemaker. We're going to be doing the Book of Boba Fett and maybe others. Check those out when they do come out. And then another one, again, it's so I don't want to announce the title of the movie because we are like 4 weeks out of recording it, but we're going to be doing Watch with Waffle Box, where me and Kush are going to be watching a movie together and recording our thoughts and discussing it live whilst we watch it. And then, so we're going to release it and we're going to tell you what we're watching, where you can watch it, and when to start, so you can watch it with us. And you can just have us in your ear while you're watching it. So it's going to be pretty cool. That's going to be.
And this first one's free, kids. The next one, we're going to charge you. That's not a joke.
$20.
Nah, not that much, but still.
Yeah. Anyway. But yeah, check out. We're going to announce obviously the title and the release date closer to that. But yeah, check those out, or look forward to those, I should say. And make sure you follow us on Twitter and Instagram at WaffleboxPod. Before we wrap things up with our heartwarming story of the week, now that you're feeling much better and back to your rosy cheeks self, Mr. Hayes, have the the members of the Syrup Squad got anything else to look forward to coming up on the next week or two on the Bosnet?
Oh yeah, we're back in circulation. Microdose number 101 comes out this Friday, and old friend of mine, Sean Thompson, he is one half of the team of the podcast Balance and Manifest Your Rise to Greatness. We're going to be talking about a little bit about self-help. We're going to be talking about therapy. We're going to be talking about manly stuff. We're going to be talking about just keeping your mentality together here, and we're gonna talk some deep stuff here where you're gonna learn a thing or two about Kush Hayes' mentality going into stuff. So that's definitely something you should absolutely check out this week on the Microdose.
And if you're worried about taking manly advice from Kush, just remember he's 50% more man than anyone else listening to this. So take his advice. When's that dropping? Tomorrow?
This Friday.
Friday.
Day after tomorrow.
So yeah, check that out. Go to bosnet.family or just search Microdose wherever you get your podcasts. All right. Quick plug time then. Don't forget also, make sure, like I say, always follow me at Mr. Mike Fish, him at Kush_Hayes on Twitter. You can find us again on enjoywafflebox.com. That's going to get all your links. So if you do want to watch us next time, you're going to get the link to the YouTube channel. If you want to listen to us instead, all the links there for Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google, Audible, Good Pods, all that good stuff. Check those out. All right, so this is our heartwarming story. Even though this is,
I love these stories.
Even though this warms my heart, which may be slowly dying as we talk. And this involves a cat, which is, this is the same because I hate cats. I'm not. It's not just.
I'm a cat guy.
I'm allergic to cats. That's why I hate them. So they're nothing personal. It's just,
that'll do it.
It's me, not you, as they say. But this story comes from Braintree in Essex, my home county of Essex, where everyone talks like me and we sound all common and muck.
Home of the loosest women in the United Kingdom.
Damn straight. So Rachel Lawrence from Braintree, Essex, had unfortunately 8 months prior to this story lost her cat. Oh, that's where you're supposed to go.
Oh.
You're the cat
Poor
person.
kitty.
Jesus, come on, play your part. So this.
I already lost my cat, dude.
But luckily, she owned another cat, so at least she wasn't alone. So she had the love of her other cat. But unfortunately, her other cat started to get a little bit poorly. Oh no! Boo, 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 boo. So Rachel phones the vet. Ring, 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 ring. Hello, vet. Yeah, my cat's not feeling too well. Can you help me out? And that's how she talks. I imagine Rachel. All right. Can you help my cat? And then in the background of the vet, she could hear a meow, meow. This is so interactive, this story. And she was
You're doing a great job, bud.
And she was like, that sounds familiar. I recognize that cat meow. Meow. And she said she had to call back later to ask for details because it was bugging her. So when so Mrs. Lawrence said she was so sure that she could recognize her cat's meow that she called the vet again and asked if the stray that was described in the background she heard on the phone was black with a white patch on one of his back feet. When the surgery confirmed the description, she took in photographs of Barnaby to show the staff. She said, I knew it was him as soon as he was brought into the room. And this is the beautiful part of the story, my friends. This is where you know it's love. Love between a human and an animal. The purest of love. She said, I cried.
Animal love.
Yeah, okay, maybe not that. That's dirty. She said, I cried. I'm talking snot bubbles cries. Yeah.
Oh, ugly cry. That's a little much. I mean, we're a society of too much sharing these days. All right. Yeah, it's one thing for me to announce I have 3 testicles, but we don't need to hear about you just ugly snot crying. Just I mean, maybe I'm biased on that one. I don't know. Maybe half the Sure Squad is like, I don't want to hear about your 3 testicles, Kush. And I'm like, well, don't think about it.
Although it's not as simple as that, because you're going to have nightmares about those 3 testicles. Because, like, what if you're teabagging? Where's the third one? Where's the middle one go?
On her nose. Duh.
Keeps you warm. So we hadn't seen the cat for 8 months. Her 3 children had nicknamed Barnaby, the name of the cat, as Fat Man. Guess why they called the cat Fat Man?
Because it was a fat cat.
It's a fat fucking cat. But when he was brought in, he had loads of scabs and was all skinny and missing fur. However, the family's wayward.
That was doing a terrible job of taking care of it. It's one thing for it to lose weight, but covered in scabs?
No. I imagine the cat went missing and it was recently found. So it's probably been like out in the universe for like 7 months.
Well, I had read, when you sent me the article, I had interpreted it as the cat's just been chilling there for the last 6 to 8 months.
Well, you've lost hope in humanity, thinking a vet would not care for a cat like that for 7 months. Kush Hayes, you should be ashamed of yourself.
I don't know what you guys do in your sex-crazed Essex.
They just paint themselves orange and wear short skirts even when it's sub-zero. Crazy bitches. She added, we just need to fatten him up to get him back to Fat Man. Mrs. Lawrence said she had paid to have Barnaby chipped before he went missing, but questioned whether the procedure had been done properly. No shit. If you've chipped your pet so you can locate it all time and you can't locate the pet for 8 months, maybe something was wrong with that. Fucking hell. She wonders if it was wrong. That's like if I went to take my car in to get new tires put on, and then I drove off and 2 of them fell off. Me going, I wonder if they did this correctly. No, they didn't.
Well, now we know. I mean, you're not going to know unless the cat goes missing. Well,
it did.
That's the big
problem. It went missing for 8 months. That's the whole point of the story. She got it chipped and then it went missing. This is why you shouldn't get cats.
Faulty chip. Faulty chip. Hope she gets a refund. She should get a refund.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Do it.
I think to re-chip the cat would probably be just rude. Probably painful. Poor cat.
Just put a bell around its neck.
There you go.
And it's cheaper. Or
keep the windows closed.
I mean,
don't open the door.
Or just get it fat again, so it can't. Even if it does try to walk off, it goes slowly.
I understood they're definitely going to get the cat fat again, which is not good for its health. Just make sure it's properly fed. We don't need fat cats.
Do you think when they were telling this, like, oh, we have to fatten him up again? The vet was probably like, wait, what? No, don't. What?
Yeah.
No, don't do that.
Don't do that.
Wait, maybe I should.
I'm going to make lasagna.
Oh, Garfield, you crazy cat. But yeah, that's our feel-good story of the week that I like to ruin. So Barnaby, Fat Man, the cat, is back in Braintree, Essex, where I'm sure every time her lovely owner, Rachel, gives her an extra strong cuddle because she's so happy that she's there. And when she puts the cat back down, the spray tan has now transferred to the cat. So that's Braintree, Essex, everyone. Feel free to visit.
All right. There you go. The more you know.
The more you know. So that's it, I guess, for another sensational episode of Waffle Box. Any last passing words of advice you'd like to hand out to the good people of the Syrup Squad? I don't know why I'm suddenly talking like this, but yes. Anything you'd like to add?
It's an interesting voice. I'd like to know who you're impersonating, but no. check out the Microdose this Friday. We got Sean Thompson on Balance and Manifest Your Rise to Greatness. It's a weekly series on Spotify and Google this and Apple that, and it's on all the major platforms. It's a great show. You're going to like it. And then the following week, we don't plug out that far ahead, but Drew Angelman comes back on the show for Microdose 102. We're going to talk about our favorite movies of 2021, as well as what you could look forward to in 2022.
And don't forget to head over right now to Twitter at WaffleboxPod and vote. Get your voice heard and find out whether Kush Hayes should keep this beard or not. I guess so. Are we going to run this poll until 100 people vote, or is there should we just run it until next episode?
The day before next week's episode.
And then if we'll find out the result. Well, I guess you'll see the results because Twitter just shows the results. But you know what I mean. You'll see him either with his beard or no beard. It's exciting cliffhanger. Join us next time, boys and girls, with the wacky adventures of Kush Hayes and his beard. Anyway, yes. Enjoy wafflebox.com. Follow us, watch us, listen to us, subscribe, give us a review, give us a 5-star review. Tell all your friends, your family, your pets to check out Waffle Box. And shout out to the San Francisco 49ers for beating the Cowboys, because fuck them Cowboys. Another year.
Fuck the Cowboys.
Another year not winning anything to America's team. But we'll look forward to seeing you and hearing you again next week. But until then, don't forget to look after yourself and each other.